Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over a 2022 GMC Yukon Denali, and this one is actually a 2022, unlike the other Yukon that I reviewed. But anyways, first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with this Yukon. Check out their inventory link below. Let's get right into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 14 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 420 horsepower and then 460 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Yukon Denali. So first off, I absolutely love the body lines here on the hood, and this particular paint color really shows things. You guys can see the lines here just absolutely pop, and this color is just perfection. I haven't seen a paint color quite this nice in quite some time. Now coming down below, we've got these LED lights. Now they don't flicker or move or anything in real life. That's just because the frame rate of the camera. We have the solid C-shape lights, and the headlights themselves are very bright. Got the fog light housing just down below, and I love the finish here on the trim. We've got the massive GMC front grille, which the design on it is really nice. And notice how there's a camera just below the M in the GMC logo. We've got the parking sensors integrated here to the front, and yeah, other than that, that is the front end. Now coming on the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you can see that the coloration on the wheels is very similar to the rest of the trim you have on the Yukon. Again, I think it looks really nice. The other thing that they added actually is some darker metallic trim to kind of break things up with the wheel itself, and I think it really helps with the design. Now, aside from that, notice the body line they've added here to kind of sculpt things on the side. Got our GMC logo. We have our Denali badge right here on the side. Notice how we have the two-tone mirror, and I'm actually going to have to pop to the other side of the Denali to give you guys a full side view. And yeah, you guys can see, really nice. Now here's our key fob for the Yukon. Notice we have the GMC logo right there. You've got your unlock, lock, remote start. We have the opening for the hatch. This is just for the window. We're going to start here with the hatch. So we press that twice, and then that will pop open the hatch here. And now it's open. Popping here to the rear, we have a payload capacity of 1,352 pounds and then a towing capacity of 8,000 pounds. Now, moving on from that, notice if we just click that down, you've got some storage space here underneath. I love the plaques right here. And then also we have this to raise and lower the third row. That is for the second row. That just lowers it down. And then we have a full power outlet here in the back as well. So really practical. Now this is the shorter version. It's not the XL. So you don't have as much storage space here in the back. But I feel like this looks a little bit nicer on the exterior from a proportion standpoint. Anyways, press that and then she'll pop right back down. Now finishing things here in the rear, first off we have the giant C-shaped taillights here in the back. We have the really aggressive exhaust tips down below. Got all of our parking sensors here on the bottom, all of the badging right here, and then you've got the camera just down below the GMC logo. That bezel covers the receiver hitch, and yeah, there's everything for the rear. I think it still looks fantastic to this day. Now here's the door panel in the rear. First off, notice this beautiful leather. I love the texturing on that. We've got the wood trim, and then it continues down below. Really cool design here with the stitching as well. I think that looks fantastic. Got your unlock and your lock. This does come with the Bose sound system, and you can see the kind of texturing on the speaker as well. Looks really nice. And then this does have the power side steps that'll pop out. And notice how we have this for the seats, so you can just pull that twice, and then that will actually fold the seat down. So you can access the third row via that method. Now as for the third row, I'm not going to climb back there or anything like that for this video. I've done that in plenty of Yukon reviews. You do get some amenities. You've got the cup holders back there, and then notice how you have the little USB. And notice the seats are really nice. So you have that same design with the stitching there on the sides, the perforated leather, and you can fit adults back there very comfortably. And then if you guys are wondering, you can just pick this up. It's kind of difficult to do with just one hand, but you can manage to do it with one hand. Now, you guys will notice, again, the same design here with the leather, perforated leather, and then the stitching that goes through looks really unique. And then this does have the screens here in the back. They are touch screens, which, again, another nice thing to have for the rear passengers. We got some cup holders back here. We have all of the climate controls down there, and then we do have heated seats as well. And notice how we have the HDMI ports, which is pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's so much happening here in the rear. And if you guys want to see with the screens and how to turn those on and everything, all you have to do is, well, first off, you gotta have the vehicle on, which don't worry, we'll come back to the front again. So we just got to turn her on. It'll take everything a second to load up. I figured I'd show this to you guys in real time so you can see like the actual time it takes to do this. So after waiting quite some time, we're gonna press the rear media, and we'll just turn that on, so then it'll let us access this. Now notice we can press the screen on, so you just have to press the power button. You can also lock the screen as well. And so we can actually turn on both of the screens with that. Notice how it says select source. Now, if we actually pop back out and go here, notice how the screen itself here in the rear is on. We can watch Hulu, for example. Notice how you have the HDMIs. That is kind of what that's for. So if you want to connect your device and have your device show here on the screen, you got the headphones and all that. But if for some reason you're like, you know what, I changed my mind, you got a power button, and you can press that and then turn off the screen. So it's pretty easy stuff to use. And then the other screen, same deal. Now here's the door panel in the front. So again, same thing here with all of the leather and the nice stitching, the wood trim, all of it looks and feels very nice. Do have blind spot wiring there for the mirrors. Coming down below, again, we have the memory seat functions here. We've got all the controls for the windows, and then the mirrors, they do power fold in. And then again, speaker for the Bose sound system. Power side steps, got the Denali plaque. And then you can see here with the seat at the front, again, we have the Denali logo right there. Beautiful perforated leather here. You guys can see the stitching design. Your power adjustments. Pedals down below. We have our light controls right here. Now notice that we've got quite a bit happening over here. We've got a driveline select. This is for the drive modes. That is for the air suspension to raise and lower it. We have our parking brake just up above. That's your lane departure, your parking sensors, stability control, hill descent control. That's for the camera system, the power outlets, the heads up display, trailer brake controls, oh, right there. And then the steering wheel is automatically adjustable. And there's where we're looking for we pop in. So here's the steering wheel in the Yukon. Notice again, we have that continuation of this beautiful brown leather. You've got the stitching here on the center portion. We have our voice command phone controls. We've got our heated steering wheel button. This is all for the cruise control. Denali logo there in the center. Turn signal / windshield wiper stalk. And there's the radio controls there on the back of the steering wheel, and that's all. Now here is the center gauge cluster itself. You can see it's a full digital screen now for the 2022 model year. I think it looks great. We have that fuel warning right there. But also there's different bits of information you can see with these different tabs here in the center. It's similar to what you had before, again, but it's just now the whole screen is digital versus just obviously part of it being digital like what they had before. And yeah, that's pretty much everything for the center stack for now. Now getting into the different drive modes here. So notice first off, we have the normal that starts in, then we have the sport, we have the off-road, and then we have the tow haul mode. And I love how it has the animations for the different drive modes. And it shows it actually move for a second as well. And that will adjust the air suspension as well, depending on what drive mode that you throw it into, which I think that's a pretty cool little feature to have. And then the suspension can also adjust it. You guys can see that you press that and then you can twist the dial to go into the different ground clearances. We're just going to keep it the normal ground clearance for now. That's all here in the center, but it also shows the animation right there. So it's kind of like a double thing. Here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. We've got the backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You have the bird's eye view, and notice all the different camera viewpoints you have here with the Yukon. You can literally see it out every single angle. So even though this is a pretty large SUV, parking it is not going to be an issue whatsoever. Now moving on from that to the rest of the infotainment system. First off, response time with the screen's great. I think it looks very nice with the coloration on it. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's got, you know, a bunch of shortcut buttons here on the side, and I mean, you can just scroll to go to different functions. Like, it's just an easy to use infotainment system, and I feel like it's very nicely integrated here into the dash. You You guys probably saw this earlier. It's the transmission selector here. So you've got the park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then low range. So the little tabs here you pull up, and then for the buttons you press in. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. That hasn't changed. And there's this wood trim right here on that other side, which I think is interesting. The dash, really nice leather all over, and then down below, all continues there with the nice wood trim. Got our analog controls here for the radio. Analog climate controls, again, you've got the climate zone for the rear, and then the two here for the front. Heated cooled seats here for the front passengers, and notice you can turn off the rear climate here. And then we've got this piece of wood trim that kind of covers up that section. Just look at the finish on it. Very nice stuff. Wireless phone charger here with the USBs, and then you can see that we've got a 12 volt inside of that. And then underneath here, we've got some cup holders, so tons of storage space. Got the center console, has that cool stitching design. And then if we press the button here, you can see there's even more storage space. Similar to what you have in like the trucks, for example, the center console is the same. And then coming over the glove box, you can see that's pretty decently sized as well. And then finishing things here at the top, we do have a panoramic sunroof, which doesn't look massive because this is a full-size SUV, but it at least gets the first 2 rows. Got the universal garage door openers. That's for the hatch. This is for the seats. And then the sunroof controls are kind of on either side with all those buttons. And that's all for the top. Oh, also, we of course have the camera mirror. We can never forget this. This is a great option. And look at that, we got a McLaren. Now here is the window sticker, and as proof, again, this is for sure a 2022. This time, that exterior color cayenne red tint coat looks fantastic. But anyways, here's all the standard equipment, so you guys can read through that. And then you've got the optional equipment over here. So this one has the Denali Ultimate package. You can see everything that comes here with the Denali Ultimate package. Quite a bit of stuff, pretty crazy. And then the next thing is the paint color, the roof rails there at the top. And then you can see everything else that this one has. So anyways, total MSRP, $85,690, which, yeah, I mean, for a fully loaded Denali, that's not too bad. But yeah, that's everything for that. Now that's going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Yukon Denali. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with this Denali. Check out their inventory link below. I'll see all of you in that next video.